All right, so there's about three major points with an outbound that needs to be established in order to get results. So those three things are who you're targeting, the messaging that you're sending them, and the timing, right? It's like you got to make sure you're sending the right message to the right person at the right time. Now, traditionally, I think what a lot of companies would do is talk to current, past customers to kind of find that information out. Who's their ideal customer profile, right? Who actually needs what they're selling, understand why they moved forward with them, why at that point in time and not another time. All that stuff together is super necessary for getting results from outbound. However, not every company can do that to talk to current, past customers because not every company has customers, okay, current or past. So here is what I suggest doing if that's the case. Let's say you're starting from scratch or you just don't have enough data. You just don't have enough data here. And actually just go straight to ChatGPT. So I'm going to walk through a quick example of how I kind of just took this random company. Let's say I'm just starting this new company and we're a website, landing page, copywriting company. So that way we can help other companies, SaaS companies specifically, software companies, convert better on their landing page, on their website, and really get our message across to our ICP on the website. So the first thing I'm doing is figuring out, hey, here's what my company offers. Here's what we do. I'm going to be running lead generation campaigns. I'm going to start doing outbound. What are some good titles besides founders and CEOs to go after? So ChatGPT first is giving me these different titles. I think a lot of these do make sense, right? And this is really important too, because I see a lot of companies, they say, hey, this is our ICP. These are the titles we go after. But in reality, there's so many more titles that they could go after that would buy their service or product. They just don't know how to position it for them, right? They don't know how to position their messaging in a way that covers that title's pain points and then connecting, the company's offer to that pain point. So it spits me out these titles here. They look great. And now what I want to do is I actually want to figure out the pain points. Like, it's not super helpful to say, oh, I'm targeting a head of growth. Yeah, but who is the head of growth? Not who is actually the head of growth within this company, but like, what do they value? What are their pain points? And how can I relate that to what I'm offering? That's really important inside of outbound, because it's like, otherwise, how are you going to be relevant? Right? How do you know that your message is going to resonate with that title, with that individual? So I'm pretty much just asking ChatGPT this, right? So what happens then, it takes all these titles previously, and now I'm really fleshing out the ICP matrix. So founders, I got their pain points, the benefits of working with us. CEOs, assuming that's going to be pretty similar. Right, so now we have different benefits and pain points for each title, right? This is that ICP matrix, super important. And now that we have this information, I can start creating different campaigns for these different titles. Maybe in some cases, like CEO or founder, it doesn't make a ton of sense maybe to split those up, because maybe their pain points are pretty similar, but at least it allows me to be in the position of choice to get segmented where needed, in order for me to get better results in that outbound. Cool. So now that I have the titles, remember that other part that I was saying is the timing, right? You got to send the right message to the right person at the right time. So here I'm diving into timing a little bit more. Okay, so when does a SaaS company actually need my service? When do they need this? And why? So first it starts talking about the why. This also makes a lot of sense here as well. I think this is a huge one, being unique. Consistency, huge. Awesome. And when? These are great wins. Yeah, especially new feature product for a SaaS company. Like making sure that, okay, here's a new product, but how can we communicate this effectively with our ICP? Okay, and it's very similar to what we're actually doing right now, so it's kind of a little confusing, but yeah, it's actually very similar to what we're doing right now. We need to understand that, hey, this is what we do. We are doing website copywriting, landing page copywriting. Who needs this? Who's our ICP? When do they need it? And how can we really package that up so that way when we're sending it through an email, it makes sense, it's relevant, it gets us that meeting, and it opens a door to a sale. So it's giving me all these different wins, and these are great, because it's like, now that I have these are also giving me ideas of like, hey, how can we then identify and prospect based off a company launching new features or new products? Now tie this in. So this could be an event trigger, and when we're emailing a company with that event trigger, we can then take the chief product officer, highlight their pain points, and connect it with our benefit and solution. And there you go. You pretty much have like that juiciness of an email. There's a lot of templates out there, but that juiciness inside the email needs to be unique. So you can't really templatize that. So here you go. That's how you do it. Yeah, I think that's a great one. Is that new features or products? Yeah, these are great too. Giving you different stages of a SaaS company on when they would need this and why. Cool. Yeah, so once you get all that information, you can pretty much just throw that into a doc and really break this down. And I would say this stuff is really valuable, not just for outbound, but look, even as an example I had as a website landing page copywriting company, right? That's like what the example was. It's also very important for your website, right? Like making sure that that messaging there resonates with your ICP. That's huge because you could have something that literally is like the best product in the world that just produces free money for your prospect. But if you're not able to communicate it, yeah, you're not going to get much from it. So look, that's how you make the ICP matrix. Super useful, super helpful. This is one of the first things that you want to do when doing an outbound campaign, any outbound campaign at all. You're going to get much more segmented, much more relevant. You're going to have a much better time getting results.